evening. Welcome. Ollie's trying to load a video, so bear with us.
I don't know how to put into words what the game of football has meant to me and what a blessing it has been. While I know with confidence I have given my all to the game, I am overwhelmed with gratitude for all it has given me. A boy from Findlay, Ohio with NFL dreams, developed in Oxford at Miami University, blessed with the honor of 18 seasons as a Pittsburgh Steeler and a place to call home. The journey has been exhilarating, defined by relationships and fueled by a spirit of competition. Yet the time has come to clean up my locker, hang up my cleats, and continue to be all I could be to my wife and children. I retire from football, a truly grateful man. First and foremost, I need to thank the Lord for all the many blessings He has bestowed on me. My wife Ashley, our children Benjamin, Bailey, and Bodie, you lift and inspire me and give my life purpose. I am so thankful for your love and support. I love you so much. To my parents and sister, every step of the way, your support and love has driven me to be the best and never give up. To the Rooney family, the Tull family, Coach Tomlin, Coach Cower, and all the coaches who have poured into me, the incredible people on every level that make the Pittsburgh Steelers a special organization. Thank you for believing in me and allowing me to battle with you in pursuit of excellence. To all of my teammates and the endless friendships that I have gained, I appreciate you and our shared commitment to wearing the black and gold with pride and dignity. Putting that jersey on every Sunday with my brothers will always be one of the greatest joys of my life. To Steeler Nation, the best fans in all of sport, thank you for accepting and supporting me as your quarterback over the years. Football has been a gift, and I thank God for allowing me to play, surrounding me with great people and protecting me through to the end. With love and honor.
So it's official.
It is finally official. How are you, Mr. Hope?
I am great. How are you, Mr. Oliver Butler Henderson?
I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad. It's one of those ones that we knew that was coming. That's finally come.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean,
It's bittersweet, really, isn't it?
yeah.
Because he has had a great career, won a Super Bowl.
Could have won a couple more.
I mean, we'll go into it more when we have less stuff to talk about, but
Oh God, yes.
we've got
Tonight-
a very, very big show tonight due to the technical issues on Monday.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, we'll talk about the weekend's games in a bit, but probably the best weekend of football I can ever remember. You know,
I saw somebody saying that he thinks that the last game was the best football game ever.
I'm gonna put those two games will be in my top four games.
And I was a bit like, I think the 2023 Super Bowl was probably still a bit better.
I'm gonna put Rams Chiefs 2018 was probably one of the top games ever for a 4-on shootout. I always tell people, if you want to get in prior to this weekend, if you want to get into American football, watch that game. And now I'm telling them, watch that game and then watch that game.
You talk about that game in the same way I talk about Niners New Orleans in 2019, which I think was 48-45.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, the NFL does it year in, year out, brings out amazing games. I think we could possibly see maybe all of these weekends' games in the top 5.
And just to put the cherry on top of the cake, I won 65 quid.
Hooray! Nice one. Shall we start with the slight shock news that happened?
Yeah, I did not see this coming.
I don't think anyone saw it coming. It was massive shock. He wants to step. From what I've heard, he wants to step away from football and coaching for a couple of years and do media work.
Yeah, but he'll be back probably.
Yeah,
Cowboys in 2 years' time.
It didn't work for Andy Reid, did it? He wanted to step away. He stepped away and went to media, and he was back within a year.
Was that Andy Reid or was that Bruce Arians?
It was one of the two. It was one of the two.
I think
can't
it was
remember exactly one.
Bruce Arians, wasn't it? And then before he went to the Bucks.
I thought it was Reed before he went, but yeah, it was one of those two anyway. It's
Reed's been at the Chiefs for like ever though.
possibly, yeah. You're probably right. It's probably Bruce, but yeah, I could see him being at Cowboys. Jerry Jones touted him before.
So we
wanted-
actually
went
probably
after him
need to
before.
we probably need to say what we're talking about is the fact that Sean Payton has resigned as head coach of the Saints.
Good segue.
We're just there talking about this guy. And it's like we've not actually said what we're talking about.
I think people would have known. That's a really big one.
I
Because it
mean,
leaves Saints in a mess now because they've got 45 million over cap space.
yeah,
You know, they've got no real QB1 anymore because Jameis Winston's out of contract.
if Brady retires, it could become a dumpster fire of a division.
It depends who goes there. I mean, because
Marty's coming straight in with the big questions.
we will get to that in a bit. If you stay tuned for I'm going to give us about an hour, and then we might get to next weekend's games. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting division because what we've got in there, we've got New Orleans, Atlanta. Atlanta will have the best quarterback in the division if,
Brady retires.
you know, possibly even Carolina if they stay with Sam, which I think they will. Rams, I thought so too.
Watch him, Matty.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad one. I mean, Saints are in a right mess, aren't they? Like I said, the 45 million over budget. You know, they've got Michael Thomas who's coming up to the end of his contract. You've got James Winston leaving his contract. I think they've got 27 players entering free agency this
They
year.
also don't have wide receivers. Like
No, they've got
Callaway's their best wide receiver.
No, I would call Alvin Kamara their best wide receiver. Yeah, it's going to be Alvin Kamara and their defense, isn't it, going into the championship?
Their defense isn't that good anyway, though.
It's not too bad.
Like it's good, but it's not top 5.
I think they've got the makings to be a very good defense if you have a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I agree with that, but
or head coach, I should say so.
I feel like if you need for your defense to be able to carry you, it needs to be a top 5 defense, and I don't think the Saints is.
Couple of pieces away, and I think they will be. I mean, they've got some very good players. They had a couple of key injuries this year in that department as well.
I do really like Cam Jordan, though.
Cam Jordan, their cornerback who names
Lattimore?
Yeah, Lattimore, and there's the one on the other side as well. It might be a safety. Can't think of his name, but
Malcolm Jenkins?
Jenkins, their secondary is very good. I do like their one wide receiver, Juan Johnson, who was a tight end, but they changed into wide receiver. He's
John, who are you talking about there? Oh, you're talking about Peyton.
He's actually... Yeah, agreed. I mean, you would have thought having them back in the Superdome, they would have been, with all their fans back there, they would have been...
Williams the other guy you think of, Stuart?
Possibly,
Willie?
yes, definitely. But they have got a couple of good wide receivers there. Their O-line isn't too bad. It's not the best in the league. If they had a Brady, a Rodgers in there this year, I think they would have been all right.
Yeah.
Who knows? On to, obviously, Big Ben's hung up his cleats officially. We showed the video pre-show. Was that? There was a lot of banging in the background. Was that yours or that was on the video?
It wasn't me.
It must have been on the video. Wow, there's a lot of banging on that one. Poorly recorded of someone then on Twitter. Obviously, the Falcons tight end Lee Smith retired after 11 years. Wasn't that big of a player, to be fair. I don't remember him. I thought he was more of a special teamer more than anything else, wasn't he?
I think Brandon Brooks is a big loss for the Eagles, though.
Oh, God, yeah. That guy, I mean, they were very good on O-line. I saw something that Jalen Hurts had one of the most time in the pockets last year or this year.
I know he's been in. I know Brandon Brooks has been injured a lot recently, but he was a great O-lineman.
He is. It was. I mean, I put him down as a possibly one of my free agent players.
Oh
I
yeah,
think-
for the team we're creating.
Yeah, for our team we're creating. I put him down as my free agent. I've now scored that down. I can't even remember where I put my piece of paper. I wrote it down now.
Well, I've not even started that yet. I've not even started my mock draft yet.
I've not even started my mock draft actually. I should really think about that because we're doing that in about 3 weeks, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon Brooks. I don't know what their secondary guard like in there because he played right and left, didn't he? He played
Yeah.
either side of the line. Mad, absolutely mad. Apparently a bear, not bears. Yeah. So the Bears have signed Chiefs X as their GM, Ryan Pauls, and the Colts DC as their head coach.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, Ryan Pace has done everything for the Bears over the years.
He has. So is Ryan Pauls going to delegate a bit more? Because I don't know what he was at the Chiefs. He was an executive of some description, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was at the Bears for years before he went to the Chiefs.
Yep, he was, to be fair. So he's gone back. So he knows the organisation well, which is a bonus.
I'm not sure about the Indy DC as head coach though.
No, I don't, because they weren't even that good of a defense last year, were they?
No.
They ran off Jonathan Taylor, and that was about it. Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? That's a really bad. Well, not. It could be a superb, but in my opinion, it's a really bad hire.
I mean, the
He
Niners
must
are going
interview absolutely superb.
Yeah. I think the Niners are going to lose both their DC and OC.
Well, does that mean the BBC is going to have no? It's just going to be J Bell now.
Defensive coordinator, no offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
But they,
So the
they,
Vikings.
they can't be hired until
Yeah.
we get knocked out.
So the Vikings have hired the Browns GM or Browns executive. I can't pronounce his name because it's a strange name.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce it either, but I will say he also used to be at the Niners, which I think might mean D'Amico Ryans might be going to the Vikings.
Yeah, so he's a young guy. So Tom said he's a young guy, so which is a good thing.
I think we'll just stick with Kwesi, like Stuart suggests.
Yeah, that's a good one, Stuart. Cheers for that. Yeah, Kwesi, he's a young guy. I don't know much about him. Tom seems to like him because he's young. But is he going to get done over like the guy did against Sonny Weave, did him over in draft day? Sonny did.
What, the Jags guy?
The Jags rookie GM. Yeah, that was quite funny. Made him look like a muppet. I'm
not as much as he made the set that sounds the Seattle guy look like a muppet though.
Oh god, yeah.
Or Bo Callahan.
Yeah.
we talk about that movie too much on this podcast.
No, we don't. We should try and get him on the show.
Yeah, I just call Vontae Mack up.
Oh yeah, get Sonny Weaver Jr. on. He could probably do a better job than the Browns GM could at the moment anyway. Didn't say that. So the news that broke earlier on that Broncos have hired the Packers OC as a head coach.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, that, isn't it?
It's interesting because the main rumor was that's where Rodgers is going to end up. Does that add flame to the fire?
I mean,
or fuel to the fire?
Rodgers does like him.
Rodgers does like. I've had a good relationship over the past years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because last year, I believe Rodgers actually rang up the Falcons to give a verbal reference for Hackett.
Wow. Yeah, obviously we haven't had time to put that one in because that's broken fairly late in the day. So that's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a number 12 in an orange shirt.
My only issue with that is I feel like Rodgers won't go anywhere without Adams.
They've got the cap space.
Yeah, but do they have the capital though?
Yeah, they do. Easily.
To trade for Rodgers and Adams.
I think they got over 60 million cap space.
Yeah.
Cap space.
I'm not talking about cap space. I'm talking about draft capital to get them.
Devontae's gone into free agency anyway. Devontae's entering free agency. Yeah. So it's only Rodgers. So you could probably give up Drew Lock and 2 or 3 first rounders.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, then that team is possibly a playoff contention team. They've
What
got
do we think of this?
every team needs Devontae Adams.
I mean, you're saying Sutton, Judy, Patrick. I think Adams is better than all three of those.
Sutton could be there. Judy could be that kind of player, but learning off someone who's got that experience, who teaching them the route runs and all that, I reckon he'll be a great addition to any team. Any team would do
John's
really
throwing
well
the Raiders hat into the ring.
there. I would take. We haven't got the cap space, but I'll take him in New England all
I
day
mean,
long.
I can't actually remember what the Niners cap space hinges on what we pay Debo and Bosa and whether we have Jimmy next year. But if we have the cap space, I'd take it.
We've got about 10 million, but we've got Trent and JC going into free agency. So, and Jacoby Myers as well, and James White. So some big players for us going into free agency. Jawan Bentley's another one as well. So I think we'll discuss free agency at the end of preseason.
I think I just sort of
Chelsea
assumed that Adams was going to get tagged.
they're going to need to do it quick because otherwise he'll be gone. He'll be wanted very, very quickly.
Yeah,
Same
but they
with
have
JC Jackson.
Yeah, but they have a chance to tag him before he can even go into free agency, don't they?
I think he has to technically enter free. Oh, I think there's a week before they can do it. I think off the top of my head, can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it is that. Yeah, I'm waiting for the rest of the news to come out because I can't remember what the rest of it is. Can you remember?
Brady and Gronk ensured their future, and Tyron Matthew is still in concussion protocol.
Yeah, that was it. So probably for the first time that I can remember, Brady's actually hinted at retirement.
Yeah.
So it's normally, you normally get all these questions asked. He's brushed it off straight away, going, "Yeah, I'm playing until I'm 45. I'm playing until I'm 45." He turned 45 in the off season, so technically he played until he's 45.
I thought it was interesting that I think it was Collinsworth, one of Collinsworth or Collinsworth's mate.
The guy from the herd.
Said Giselle was going to have a say in that.
No, she doesn't.
I feel like if Giselle had a say in that, he'd have retired in 2017.
Oh yeah, he would have retired. No, he would have retired 2018 when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He would have retired then at like 6 rings. Because I don't know if you've seen his press conference, but his press conference was, I have other things now that are taking up my time. Not something else, but other things like football, other things other than football. So he's got his businesses. He's obviously got his kids. His kids are like, what, 18, 19 now, or late teens now, aren't they?
No, yeah, he has a couple of young ones too.
So he's obviously wants to spend more time with them. I mean,
and I think they're still living in Boston, aren't they?
No, they're down with him. They're all in Tampa. They're all in Tampa. Yeah, they absolutely love it in Tampa. They've all moved down to Tampa. The family love it down there. His parents are down in Tampa or down in Florida now as well. So they absolutely all love it down there. His family are all down there. His mum and dad are getting older and older. They're getting more worried about him getting hurt before he retires. I wonder if there's a couple of fleas in his ear just going, look, hang your boots now.
I mean, for me, as he was walking off the field on Sunday, it's one of the first time he's actually looked 44.
Yeah, he got battered by Von Miller and Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely battered. And it's like, I don't remember him again that irate. He got flagged for the first time in his career.
Yeah, sportsmanlike, yeah.
So then obviously, if he goes, I'm guessing that means Gronk will hang up his cleats and go back to wrestling.
Yeah.
Gronk not so much. Tampa Bay have got nearly 30 players entering free agency this year. Sue, John Paul, Leonard Fournette as one. Just name but 3 to enter. Tampa aren't going to be the team as they were this year. He's not going to be able to bring them all back this time around. There is talk that Tampa are looking at bringing in a veteran QB or QB in free agency. They could possibly bring in a Cam or something like that, because I think Cam would do all right in that offense.
Yeah, because Cam did so well for the Panthers.
Panthers and Bucks, very different. Very, very different.
Common denominator Cam Newton now.
Yeah. Always. But it all depends what happens on two quarterbacks, I think. And they both play in the NFC. One plays in green, one plays in blue. It's gonna, I reckon, what happens with Russell Wilson and Rodgers. Because if Rodgers go, it's going to be a pendulum domino effect, isn't it? One goes, they all go. I think that's how it's going to be. You know, it's going to be a very interesting quarterback market this year.
Yes. Yeah, and I
It's
think
terrible.
some of that. Antonio Brown, to Tampa.
I tell you, he heard it first. What, with his tail between his teeth, with 12 between his legs? Yeah.
Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen the tweet of him with like that with Tampa out of the playoffs? What about this one?
I've heard didn't Tom say Kirk got traded? It was going to be traded somewhere.
There was somebody that was interested in trading for Kirk.
Rodgers to Denver, I think that's a given. Teddy to Tampa, back in. I reckon could see Teddy going back to New Orleans. Teddy is in New Orleans, isn't he? No, he's at Denver, isn't he? So Teddy could go back to New Orleans. But that depends. It's very much hindsight. They could all stay where they all are. Pittsburgh draft someone. Brady stays another year. And we could be having this conversation in 12 months' time. We don't know. It's all very much a hindsight conversation, isn't it? To be fair.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. We're going to show the Chiefs-Bills games in a minute. And we're going to show, obviously, a couple of Gabriel Davis' touchdowns. So, obviously, we've seen that Tyrann Mathieu is in concussion protocol. He went out the game very, very early. And
did he even start?
Yeah, he got knocked out. He got kneed in the head by his own teammate.
Oh,
he played 7 snaps, I think it was. And it only took him until the second half to I'll run this through now. Only took until the second half to really exploit that gap where he left, and that gave a massive vulnerability to Chiefs defense. And you can't give Jamal Chase that space. Although I think the Chiefs O line is better, or the Chiefs D line is much better than the Tennessee D line.
with the turnstiles of the Bengals O line, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to run the video. Ollie's going to go and grab a drink. And
to try to make it a 3-point.
Let's go back to the start.
Allen to try to make it a 3-point lead. Circling around at the 18. Now looks. Flings it back to the end zone. There's Diggs. Down the middle. It's Hill in the open. Cuts it upfield. He might be gone. He is. Kansas City takes the lead with a minute to go from 64 in 17 seconds. Down the middle to the end zone. And there it is.
That shows how much they missed Tyrann Mathieu.
Right away, right now, someone in the middle. Down the middle. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a 48-yard attempt. Only 48 yards.
I will never understand why the Bills didn't hit a script.
Hundreds of thousands around the planet. The kick is good. It's going to overtime. Whatever quarterback has the ball last will win. Will get it. Looking to the end zone for the win. He caught it. Ball game. Chiefs.
We've said that it's been said all week. That is a game that we are going to talk about for the ages.
Top five games ever, easily.
Oh my God, yes, most definitely. So 25 points were scored when they went to 2 minutes. 31 points if you include overtime.
I want to talk about some key mistakes, I think, by the Bills.
One was the kick.
First off, for that 4th and 1, you have Josh Allen, go for it.
4th and 1, trying to remember when that one was.
It was sort of, I think it was towards the end of the first half.
Oh, yeah. No,
2, the kick.
Yep.
Just hit a squib kick.
Oh, yeah.
And just
Or even,
let,
pooch kick it. So they've got to come into it and eat the time up.
because that way you're eating up 4, 5, 6 seconds, and then they've got maybe 1 or 2 plays to go Hail Mary or hook, and that's all.
I think they're worried about. I reckon what they're worried about because Tariq Hill was back to receive the kick. I reckon they're worried about him going. He's going to go the whole length of the field. I reckon because we saw his kick return he did earlier in the 2-minute warning. He returned it for nearly 45 yards twice.
Yeah, but I mean,
This game was like watching Madden.
yeah,
Game Madden. It was like jukes, lefts, spin moves and all that. It was superb. I mean, the quarterbacks. I mean, Mahomes magic. I mean, we all saw the throwaway through it under the bloody linebacker's arm for reception.
yeah. And I mean,
he was so magical.
Josh Allen made one mistake in the whole game.
Yeah, called heads.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the overtime rule in a bit because we both want to talk about it. I think we both got something to say about it. So, both both quarterbacks led each team in rushing yards. They both threw for well over 300 yards. They had 7 touchdowns, 2 of them. Josh Allen had 9 in 2 games and threw for over, I think, nearly 800 yards.
I mean, the crazy thing is, if I said to you this season, and like early this season, the Bills will be in the divisional round game, and Stephon Diggs will get 7 reception yards, you'd have thought they'd have got absolutely smashed.
Yeah. But it says something though. They've got a very good WR2 now in Gabriel Davis. He went over 200 yards, 4 TDs. I mean, the bloke was on fire. I mean, you don't know what it'd be like if Tyrann Mathieu was there. Your player of the week, yeah. I don't know what would have happened if Tyrann Mathieu would have been there, because especially with the one play.
That's just a what if, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a what if, but it doesn't take away how brilliant this game was. I was expecting, I'll stay up for. So I'd work next morning. I'll stay up for a while. I'll watch the rest of it in the morning. I couldn't turn it off.
No,
it was. I had to watch the next play. I had to watch the next play. It's one of those games you couldn't take off, and that's a rare. Well, it's not a rarity. It does happen quite often in the NFL, but this game was magic. Both quarterbacks neither deserved to lose.
No, definitely not.
Even though I won't repeat what I said in the group chat.
I can't remember exactly what you said, to be honest.
It was, yes, something you Bills.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember now.
You weren't several rum and cokes down at that point, mate.
But yeah, but I mean, you sounded like you were.
No, I was in bed. I was watching in bed. I definitely wasn't drinking. Not that night, anyway.
You just seemed a bit too happy about the fact that the Bills lost.
Yeah, I mean, every time, like in the second quarter or the second 2-minute warning in the end of the second half, they made a completion. It was like there was expletive coming out towards. I've got to show this because we didn't show this. It's like this. Where's Baker going?
Yeah.
Going back.
And of course, with the Bills getting beaten, that takes my pick for the Super Bowl out. So it's just Tom's left.
Tom's who left the 49ers. I mean, I was listening to In the Huddle earlier, and I can't remember if it's Neil or Jeff said, if it wasn't for this game, Sunday night's game would have been the game of the season. Because Sunday night, the Bucks-Rams game was another brilliant game as well.
Both of the games on Sunday were all 4 of the games were close, and the 2 on Saturday were close, good defensive
But yeah, they're really
low
good.
scoring games, and then the games on Sunday were big shootout offensive games.
Yeah. So a purist is going to like the Saturday night games. The newbies are going to like the Sunday night games. The bang bang. I mean, I'm not a newbie. I've been watching the sport for 20 years nearly now. Even played it as well. I played defense, but I still loved that Bills Chiefs game. Like I said earlier in the show, one of my favorite games was the 2018 Rams Chiefs game, which was like nearly a 100-point game. Absolutely loved it.
And I always mention the Saints Niners.
Exactly. I'm gonna play the Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening game.
He's going to take it to the end zone. Deep downfield. He's got Kupp. Stafford. Deep downfield. He's got Kupp again. He's at the 10. Stafford says, let's get down there. We got to clock it. We got to get the field goal. 30 yards to win the game. Matt Gay boots it through. And the Rams wind up winning it.
3 games so far, a walk-off field goal.
Yes.
All 3.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, that Cooper Cup, he might be done playing in a couple of years.
Yeah, he's got some potential, that lad, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I want to say those 2 throws to Cooper Cup to Stafford to get them in field goal range were on the money. They were absolutely superb. I mean, to be fair, we're going to have a conversation in a bit about QBs, who we want to win, who you want to lose. Who you don't want to lose your game. Who you hope to
We'll
win.
get to that.
Stafford could be in one of those brackets. You know, he definitely is in one of those brackets. I thought, we mentioned earlier that Brady, for the first time in his career, got flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. To be fair, he did get hit late by, I think it was Von Miller, and he did cut his lip open. Boo-hoo. Sorry, could have missed that one.
You sounded so concerned too.
But it's they were
the
rattled.
stats and the score speak for themselves, really, don't they?
Nick Scott, he wasn't even playing the start of the season. He was on the practice squad. I think he came in against you guys. I think that was his first game against you guys in. And
but what this doesn't say is it doesn't talk about the 3 fumbles by the Rams.
oh god, by Cam Akers.
2 by Cam Akers, 1 by Cooper Cup.
Yeah, and Cooper Cup never fumbles the ball. He's very, very secure with the ball. He's very good with the ball normally. He's only played 2 games. 3 did he play against you? Did he play in week 18?
He did, but didn't do much.
It's that lack of match practice, isn't it? I think more than anything else, possibly.
But yeah, back to Nick Scott. He was on the practice squad, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on the practice squad. He was elevated. End of the season. Obviously, they brought in Eric Waddle as well. So
He's played a lot more than I was expecting him to too.
He got a stupid penalty as well against Mike Evans, didn't he? Right at the end of the game, he got the players broken up and he hit Mike Evans stupidly late. And in fact,
they were lucky with that.
That was a very lucky flag because it should have been first down on goal. And there isn't the clip on that where it shows that it took them 10 minutes to decide that it was 4th and inches or first and goal.
Yeah, so it ended up being 15 yards, first down, Rams because of turnover on downs, didn't it?
Yeah, because the play had happened or something like that.
It was a dead ball or something.
Yeah, it was. Mike Evans burnt Jalen Ramsey. That would look good for you against Debo on Debo on Sunday night.
If we want to go to incorrect calls, I have something to say about that incomplete pass for the Niners.
I haven't seen much of the Niners game, but I've only seen the 15-minute highlights. I will confess.
Have you seen? Did you see the fumble that was ruled an incomplete pass?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Because I'm a Niners fan, and I think it was a fumble.
Is that a Niners shirt you got on? I didn't know that.
Really? Yeah, I mean, long. I
You're a
mean,
Niners fan, didn't know that.
I don't speak much about being a Niners fan, do I?
No, you're very quiet about it, mate. Yeah, it was probably, if it wasn't for the game that preceded it, probably one of the best games. It was right. We're going to go 27-3 up at halftime, and Brady almost did a 2016 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
2016, yeah. But it was 25. It was 24 points, not 25. Perhaps that was the difference. Yeah, I mean, he got them back into tied, and then a brilliant 50-second drive to get them down the field in field goal range. From it's no 13 seconds from Mahomes, but it's when your girl says 13 seconds isn't long enough.
I was waiting for you to bring that out.
I had to. Come on. Stafford could be an issue going in there, going in against you guys, maybe. I don't know. I'm a bit worried about that one.
Well, worried how insufferable are we if the Niners make the Super Bowl?
God, yes. Not only that, but Tom, your prediction would be almost right as well. I'm gonna now show your game. It's I think the big boy plays on it.
Yes, the turnover in the tundra.
Blocked! Up
Go out.
defense in each of the last 3 games, and it's blocked! Up into the air and spinning inside the 10, picked up and a touchdown! Kick was...
I want to pause something and go back about 2 seconds. No, a little bit more. A little bit more. How many players have Green Bay got on the field? 10. No, and it's like you would. I mean, they didn't have a timeout there, but surely there would have been some kind of penalty, maybe. Because what happens if they didn't make the field goal? Anyway, go press play.
Kick was down the middle and good! 49ers win it! Defense.
Robbie Gold, good as gold.
Oh yes,
And
that was good.
Without sounding too much like a certain Jason Bell, special teams for special players.
Yeah, I mean, so you didn't get yourself enough yards to get your punt out. That's always an issue. I mean, you're going to leave yourself short field at disadvantage, which isn't a good. It was just really bad play by Green Bay for most of the night, from what I've seen and what I've read.
I mean, they say you need to win on 2 out of the 3 fronts to win a football game. We definitely didn't win on offense, but our defense and special teams carried us.
Yeah, how many touchdowns did you score?
1. And it was on special teams.
Hey, the amount of times that Patriots have scored touchdowns on special teams and on defense, it's
The first
the
thing
way
is,
forward.
our special teams has been awful all year. The only team that's had worse special teams than us has been Green Bay.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers has said he doesn't want to be part of the rebuild. That's pretty much telling him sort it out, but he doesn't want to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
He needs, we've said this at the start of the season, that if you love this team so much, you want to be part of this team, you want to be this team, great. Reschedule or rebuild your contract like Brady's done over and over and over, like Big Ben's done, like Drew's done, like Rivers has done as well. You've got to do that. You've got to renegotiate your contract for the best of your team.
I'll
You've got
tell you what,
hundreds of millions in the bank. It's not going to bother you.
The only offensive player that played well in this game, like really well, Aaron Jones.
170 yards, yeah.
I want to ask you something. I know you've not seen much of the game, but I saw somebody saying the other day, a Green Bay fan saying, if Aaron Rodgers can't outshine Jimmy Garoppolo, he should leave. I think Aaron Rodgers did outshine Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, okay, he's got his injured thumb and his shoulder on his hand. Or his shoulder on his hand? No wonder it's a bit injured. But he only threw 19 times. Jimmy Rodgers threw 10 times more and only completed about another 5% more, something like that. It wasn't majorly different.
Yeah, but look at the yards.
Yeah. But that's not just on that. It's about the play calls that have been drawn up by your offensive coordinator. So it's not,
Yes.
you can't
I
just
mean,
go in at Jimmy on that. I mean, you've seen the whole game.
I feel sorry for Jimmy because Jimmy made 3 very, very good passes in the first half. One to
Ow.
Brandon Ayuk, which was the fumble that was ruled an incomplete pass. One which hit Kittle in the numbers, and one to John Jennings that were all dropped.
Is Kittle in the numbers a euphemism for something?
It's Kittle dropping a pass that would have gone for a touchdown if he'd have caught it. That's
Okay,
what it is.
So it wasn't that bad quarterback play. I mean, his percentages weren't that bad. It's what, 60%, just under 60%. Trying to do very quick math. So his percentage not bad. He only had 1 turnover.
Yeah, but that was an awful throw.
Yeah, I mean, so out of the 8 quarterbacks that took place this weekend, he had the lowest passer rating at 80. All the rest was well over that. I mean, they were all superb apart from Tannehill. So I don't know how the hell Tannehill had a higher passer rating. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, it could be whoever makes the less errors on Sunday, I think, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's roll on to the first game of the weekend. I'm going to remove that and then play that.
Any of those games. First play from scrimmage. Play action. Tannehill fires. Intercepted. 52-yard. Sweeps the leg. McPherson. He's got it. Cincinnati wins.
So the first time
Evening,
Cincinnati made... Evening, Muzz. First time Cincinnati made the playoffs since the AFC Championship game since '88.
I mean, yeah, but Dan McPherson, what a rookie season he's having.
If he wasn't a kicker, you would say he'd probably be Rookie of the Year, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The fact that he went to, when they got him down to literally field goal range, he looked at his placement and going, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship game. The cojones on this guy. They call him Money Mac in the changing room, and I think he likes it, and you can see why. I mean, fair play to him. He was, apart from the Green Bay game, I think
that was a crazy game.
Him and Mason Crosby, neither of them had wanted to win that game. But Tannehill threw 3 picks. One of them was a very good, well, 2 of them were very good defensive plays. One was that pick, what we showed earlier on, and the other one where it was batted down, or batted up in the air and made a really good run from the linebacker. I don't know if any of you guys on here listen to Inside the Huddle. They've got, their producer is a Titans fan.
Is it Richard Graves?
No, it's some Cockney guy. Can't remember his name. It's not Richard Graves. And he went in on Tannehill. Pretty much blaming Tannehill, saying Tannehill's worse. You shouldn't have done this, blah, 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 blah. Really good rant. I'd recommend listening to it after you've listened to our podcast, of course.
Ollie just promoting other podcasts.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're all part of the NFL. It's all fine. It was a really good go. You can see. I mean, we're going to talk about something in a minute anyway. So Tannehill makes 3 mistakes. Joe Burrow gets sacked 9 times. No team who has their quarterbacks 9 times should win a game.
Yeah, the O-line needs to be sorted out because, as I think it was Tom said on the group chats on Sunday, this Bengals O-line is turnstiles.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, there was one play where literally the defender ran straight through him. It was Jeff Simmons, who they've got to do something about because he's up for free agency this year. He was literally like, yep, there you go. And Joe Burrow is like, this guy is torn ACL and MCL sprain last year. We've seen the massive scar that's down his knee. It matches my massive scar on my knee. You've got to protect him. I mean, we were all saying that they should have taken Penny Swell. in the draft. They didn't. They took Jamar Chase, and that's been an absolute genius move. I mean, the bloke's
But
been
they need,
absolutely immense.
but they need to take O-line this year.
Yeah, it will. That will be their main goal. Is O-line is probably their center's fairly good. It's gonna be the guard and tackles they need to take more than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
First 3 games were all won by walked-off field goals.
All 4 games were, weren't they? I know the last one went to overtime, didn't it?
Yeah, all one. Oh, didn't mean to have that one. Oh, ran that one. Yeah, they're all ran by walked-off field goals. Kickers.
They were all won by walk-off plays.
They were all of it. It was a superb weekend of football. Really good games.
All games were decided on the last play of the game.
Yeah, ridiculous. Do you want to? Shall we do play of the week before we go on to, or do you want to talk about our little QB rant?
Oh yeah, my segment I've been wanting to do all week.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay,
Fire
so
away.
divisional round, 8 quarterbacks.
Yep.
Let me go through them. We had Joe Burrow, Ryan Tannehill, Jimmy Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to put them into 2 categories here.
Go on then.
The first category, Joe Burrows,
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers. So I'm just letting the games go here so I can remember. Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
They're all quarterbacks, and potentially Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, I'm not quite sure which category he's in yet. I think he's in his own category. But those 5 definitely
In the Matthew Stafford special category.
are 2 quarterbacks that can win the game for you.
Definitely.
And then you've got Matthew Stafford, who I'm setting aside here because I've not decided which category.
You're sitting very much on the fence with Matthew Stafford.
Yes. But Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
They're both quarterbacks that make enough mistakes that rather than win the game for you, you just hope they don't lose the game for you.
So,
And I think that is a big issue.
yeah, so Tannehill, first throw was a really bad throw. I mean, it's a really weird play call as well. You've brought your star back off IR, and yet the first play you do, you throw a pass down the middle, which, to be fair, was superbly played by the defender. Best defensive play of the weekend was by Hooker early on in the game, or later on in the game. That diving interception low down, that was a superb play. And the other one was, this shows the difference between Tannehill and Mahomes. So both of them had a linebacker coming at them. Tannehill tries and goes over the top where linebackers are taught, arms up in the air, deflect the pass down. Mahomes goes under him, literally throws it under his arms.
Yeah.
It shows these magical plays that these guys have got.
And just going to Garoppolo, I think the Niners are something like 2-5 this year when he's thrown 2+ interceptions.
See, I mean, Stafford, the first half of the season, probably the first 12 weeks, maybe, when they have their bye. Yeah, up to about their bye.
I think it was
superb.
up until the Niners beat them, actually.
Oh, on week 10.
Yeah.
Was absolutely superb. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, first 9 weeks, he was going in. He was in the MVP conversation.
He was, wasn't he?
There's not many QBs that make the first category. Most probably, yeah, I do agree with that, John. But we're meant to be talking about the creme de la creme of football here. The best 8 teams. And I think there's 2 or 3 there. I don't think is necessarily good.
Here's one for you. Okay, yes, they did make the playoffs. Where would you put Lamar Jackson?
Win.
Well, no, you hope they'll win the game. Okay, so we've obviously had what was meant to be, what's called and classed as the best QB draft class for a long time, since, the Roethlisberger, the Brady's, the Rodgers, or Brady's was been before then, the Rodgers, the Brees, and all that lot. I would be interested to see in 2 or 3 years' time where we would put Mac, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Fields, even Davis Mills.
Callum Mond even maybe.
Callum Mond, but that all depends on
Kyle
where.
Trask.
I think Trask isn't going to be playing that much yet. There is, yeah, I would agree with. Was it John who put the comment up? Are you read it before I had a chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's put a couple other comments. It's going to be interesting. There is probably a more agreed. That's the difference between Super Bowl or not. That you've got these winning quarterbacks or not. So Rodgers goes to Tennessee. There's a Super Bowl team there.
Yes.
Same if Brady goes to Tennessee. They've got a very good O-line down there. They've got, okay, they may need a couple more wide receivers because possibly Julio Jones isn't going to be there much longer, but they've still got Brown. They've got Jake, is it Foreman they're running, the RB2 behind Henry?
So actually, that's something I want to say about that game.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry hindered them.
Hindered them? Oh, hindered them. Oh, God, all day long.
Because Foreman was playing so much better. They should have just kept handing it off to Foreman, but they were going, we need to give it to Henry. We need to give it to Henry. We need to give it to Henry.
Muzz has put a very good comment. Well, shall we say we're going to put a controversial comment in there because I know our fellow presenter who isn't here would probably say he would probably fall into the hope he doesn't lose category more than not. I would agree. There is 2 Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers in the regular season, superb MVP category most years, and when it comes to, apart from the 1 year they've got to the Super Bowl, he is a different quarterback. He does look almost like he's got that monkey on his back. He's got the weight of this offense,
especially against the Niners
and the Bucks.
Rodgers is the first player to lose 4 times to the same team in the postseason.
Yeah,
and what makes me laugh is that Rodgers said after he got drafted to Green Bay, "I'm going to make the Niners regret not picking me."
I thought he was going to stop the Niners winning so many Super Bowl rings or something like that, or something stupid like that. I've seen a couple of different ones. I mean, there's obviously you had prime Drew Brees, you had prime Ben Roethlisberger, Rivers. There are ones that you're going, okay, you can see these guys hope they're going to win the game because they were superb quarterbacks. You possibly put Kyler Murray in that one where you hope he could win you the game more than not. Matt Ryan probably in his prime was you hope he could win the game, but I don't think he's in that one anymore. As I go down, Alan, Carolina.
What do you think about this by Muzz?
How many times have we mentioned Rodgers and jeopardizing his career in this podcast over the few?
I mean, it's fact. It had to be jeopardized too, didn't it?
Yeah,
Jeopardy.
Yeah, Jeopardy. I know. Are we going to put Justin Herbert as in you hope he's going to win the game?
Not yet.
No. Cousins.
No.
He's going to hope you don't lose you the game. Russell Wilson. Before this season, I would say you would have put him hoping to win this game. I think if you put Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh, where they've got a good O-line, you'll see Russell Wilson back how he was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that bloke is absolutely brilliant. I would have Russell Wilson at New England any day of the week, but we've got Max. So
anyway, shall we move on to player of the week before we go through all 32 quarterbacks?
I could do that quite easily, go for 2 quarterbacks and all their lines. We'll start with Tom's. I mean, it's no surprise when we're going to say all players are from one game. One game.
Yeah.
This is 3. So Tom's gone for Josh Allen. As Ollie alluded to earlier on, he did one thing wrong. Called head tails instead of heads. One thing wrong. I mean, the bloke was brilliant. Threw 4 touchdowns, 329, rushed for 68 yards as well. It was, pure class. Mr. Hope, we've already alluded to yours.
Gabriel Davis breaking records. First player to receive 4 touchdowns in the game. Did he go for 201 yards for 8 carries?
201 yards for 8 carries, yeah. Targeted 10 times.
He picked up the Stephon Diggs slack.
Mm.
Yeah.
So when you say the first player, if you look at the players Jerry Rice has never done 4 touchdowns in a game. Randy Moss. There's just 2 players. There's a list. They would name more, but they're the 2 ones that spring to my head have never scored 4 touchdowns in a postseason.
Yeah.
The guy wasn't. I mean, I bet the Bills wish they had him earlier on in the season, or playing this well earlier on in the season, because he was absolutely brilliant. Here you go. Muzz is just going to say something before I put mine on very quickly. I think Wilson needs a different team really to reawaken him completely.
Yes.
Agree. Where would you put him, Muzz? Where would you like him? Would you like him to go into Pittsburgh, or would you put him somewhere else? My pillow of the week was Patrick Magic Mahomes. The only thing worrying about this, we could see his brother and his wife in the Super Bowl again, which is a bit worrying. The guy was a magician. I mean, his touchdown run was brilliant. His 35-yard scramble was brilliant. His passing was on point. He commands that offense really, really well. He got to respect that offense. He is a proper leader. You see him pre-games and giving huddles and giving the talks, and when they're down, he's like getting their team, bigging them up, and he's like, I think there was a game in the AFC Championship game last year, and I want to say it was Byron Pringle. It could have been Nicole Hardman who muffed a punt. I love that word. I love they call it that. And he went for a touchdown. And he went straight up to him and said, don't worry, it's gone. It's happened. You know, there's still plenty of time in this game. This shows what kind of bloke this is. He is a proper leader of that team, and he's absolutely brilliant.
So this is what John's saying?
Yeah.
And in referring back to Russell Wilson, Muzz is putting Pittsburgh or Miami or Tennessee.
What's Pittsburgh's cap space? I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, going to what John said very quickly. So, yeah, first player to score 4 touchdowns in the postseason and loses the game. This is why we love the NFL. So this is going to segue really nicely onto. So Muzz says Pittsburgh's cap space is decent.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about this. Myself and Ollie have talked about this a lot. I'm going to put something up very quickly, which is the overtime rules and the stats. So I need to hide the banner because otherwise I can't see it. So the current rules are, under the current regulation, it is, or under the old regulation, teams have won the coin toss were 86-67 a tie. Under the new rules, it is 10-1 in overtime. I don't like this overtime rule. So if you don't know the overtime rule,
either.
If you don't know the overtime rule, if you win the toss, you can either elect to receive or kick the ball. If you receive the ball and score a touchdown on your first drive, you win the game. If you go for a field goal, the team can go back the other way and try and score a field goal, and they keep going until someone's missed. Or they can score a touchdown, whichever one. Or it can end with a safety, I believe.
It can end with safety, yes.
And I can't remember which way it goes with the safety.
If it's safety, it's game over.
Yeah, I can't remember if it has to be on the first play, doesn't it? On the first defensive game drive, doesn't it?
Muzz is saying 11 games is too small a sample size. That's just looking at postseason games, though.
Yeah, it's just postseason games that are going to overtime. So I would like to see what they have. Well, what they would like, what they have in Canada. Keep the regular season as it is. I'm happy with the regular season. It's, one game. What I would like them to see is, right, okay, you scored a touchdown. Okay, if you can go down the other end and score, don't worry about going for point after or whatever, or anything like that, or 2 points or anything like that. Let the team go down the other end and try to score a touchdown. If they can't score a touchdown, then it's game over. Simple as. It's going to make it more sense. Yes. The only issue what is,
I've seen the other issue is people saying just make a fifth quarter 15 minutes.
I don't think they can do that. Because in regular season football, it's just 10 minutes.
Yeah. Or
So
just make a
they've
fifth
changed it
quarter of
anyway.
10 minutes.
I think a fifth quarter is too much. Personally, I like how it is. I just don't like the fact that the other team couldn't go, because like we said several times, the only thing Josh Allen did wrong all weekend was, or all game was, call one coin.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that he couldn't go down the other end and try and score. They would have scored because they found out that Chiefs defense then couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
And then, right, okay, the next team scores. Simple as, end of. That's how it should be. I'd love to know what you guys think. Would you like to see, how would you play it? I mean, so but where do you stop? Why does one team effectively get 2 chances, sudden death, until one team gives an advantage? Problem is, there has to be a way to stop it. I mean, you can't have. Could you have like a penalty type shootout? They do it in rugby, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
It's a field goal kick.
And Kelly's just reminding us that 10, 15 minutes can last up to an hour.
Yeah, we all remember the Thanksgiving game.
I mean, I didn't see Thanksgiving game this year.
Yep. Most definitely. So yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Onto the championship games this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of football. I mean, the only home team that won this weekend was the Chiefs.
Is that true?
Yeah. Bengals were at Tennessee. You were at Green Bay, and so and so. I'd love to know what are you going for?
Well, for me,
Yep.
Rams and Chiefs.
I'm going Rams. You're going for the Rams? Oh, I'm disappointed in you, man. Disappointed.
I picked against the Niners last week and it worked, so.
Yeah, I'm just going back to this. John's gone, scrap overtime and just do a coin toss. And his multiple, I'd move 10 minutes overtime, 5 minutes each on offense, and whoever scores more points. That's actually quite like that one. Quite like one. Muzz has gone for Bengals and Niners. So that was that Super Bowl happened 40 years ago. For that one. So yeah, that could be a good one. I'd like to see that one again. You would like to see that one again, wouldn't you? My issue is your game is going to be which quarterback makes less mistakes, I think.
Yeah.
Most definitely. On that one. We're going to move on a bit quickly because we've got to keep you guys entertained as much as we can. This is week 4 of our draft prospect.
Yeah.
I'm very high on this guy. It's Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. I know Muzz said he would like him at Pittsburgh. His stats says something. I mean, 251 attempts from 387, 3,300 odd yards, 30 touchdowns, 8 interception. He's rushed for 255 and 6 touchdowns. I'm just going to play his video very quickly.
I mean, he looks good.
There you go. I'm going to have to rewind it a little bit.
This throw is great.
His pocket awareness is very good as well. It doesn't really show it in this, but I mean, I'd said to you pre-show, he reminds me a bit of early Cam Newton. I mean, the last clip we'll see in a bit. This throw is great. This is a brilliant throw. I mean, watch it from the other angle. There's a bullet on a string. I mean, brilliant. You got another. He's really mobile as well. Looks a bit Justin Herbert style. He's got the same size and stat. But this run, this was a great run. This one reminds me of Cam Newton kind of runs he would do. Big, strong. I've seen him go to Detroit. I've seen him go to Carolina. I'm just going to remove it off the thing. So we got
Was Detroit round 2?
No, I think they're all round 1. I think he's gone round 1. I've seen him at Pittsburgh. He's probably going to go late first round, I think.
Yeah.
Because Detroit got 2 picks, haven't they? They got one later in the draft as well. There you go. I've watched the game against Notre Dame. He is outstanding, very, very aware. He is. I mean,
I think Kelly's taking a pop at me here.
Reminds you of Bosa. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Big, strong guy takes hits. So John's gone for Bengals and Niners as well. Everyone's gone for Bengals and Niners, apart from that's interesting. Oh no, Katie's gone Rams. Yeah, I mean, the purists would love to see a shootout between the Rams and the Chiefs.
That's what the NFL wants anyway.
The NFL wants, yeah. Gonna go through the draft order really quickly because obviously draft prospect, first 18 as they are. Obviously, Lions, Jags, Lions, Texans, blah blah blah, all the way through it to Jets. Say the same. Washington at 11, Vikings 12. That could be an interesting one. The interesting one that is from me is Eagles have got 15, 16, and 19.
Yeah, three picks in 5 or something.
Yeah. I could see them trading up.
Yeah.
Then we got the playoff teams that went after the playoffs, which are Eagles, Saints, Pittsburgh, Raiders, Cards, and Cowboys. Now you got divisional ones: Bills at 25, Titans at 26,
Bucks at 27, and Packers at 28.
And Packers at 28.
We don't know. We've got Bengals, Dolphins from Niners, Lions from Rams, and
Chiefs
left.
Bears, Colts, Rams, Niners, and Seahawks don't have a pick. So everyone goes on about so-and-so should win Super Bowl, so-and-so should win MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, blah, 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 blah. Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year. We haven't put our Comeback Player nominees on the board, but I'm going to tell you all now. They are Dak, Joe Burrows, and Nick Bosa for Comeback Player of the Year. I'm going to run that along the bottom. There will be a little montage thing going up in the other ones. So we've come together our own little ones. So we're going to show our first one is going to be for Rookie of the Year. So we've got Jalen Waddle from Miami Dolphins, Jamar Chase, Micah Parsons,
and Mac Jones.
And Mac Jones for Rookie of the Year.
Parsons for me.
Parsons has been superb, but Chase has been brilliant. Waddle's season went from strength to strength after London. Mac was superb again. It was this season as a rookie. He had 16th highest passing yardage as a rookie, comparing to Trevor Lawrence, who only had about 5 or 6 touchdowns, I think, this year. Not many at all. Coach of the Year, we have gone for.
I think Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor, Sean McVay, Mike Vrabel, and Kyle Shanahan. From the Niners.
I said Vrabel earlier, but now I think probably Zach Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we will put it on the socials and we'll share it around. Drop your votes in, see who you go for on that one, and go from there. So, Muzz has gone Burrows. Kelly's gone for Chase.
Chase Rookie of the Year. Muzz has gone Chase. John's gone Chase.
Muzz has gone Vrabel or Taylor for coach. So, Offensive Player of the Year, always a contagious one. Can you hide the
Cup.
Even though we got Debo, Samuel, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, and the one-man wrecking machine who was absolutely superb this season. He led everything. Is Cooper Kupp. Defensive Player of the Year is
what?
TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, Micah Parsons, and
as much as I love Nick Bosa, it has to be TJ Watt.
I mean, Micah Parsons has done ridiculously good things in his rookie season. Absolutely ridiculously good things.
Muzzy said Cup. Turned down for Watt.
For what? Tough selection.
John's saying this is tough.
It is. I need to go back. And MVP. Very contentious one. But our nominees are Cooper Kupp.
I don't care as long as Rodgers doesn't win it.
Brutal, man. Cooper Kupp, TJ Watt, the GOAT, and the Jeopardy host is basically this year's. We will put them on over the next week or so, one every other night. on our socials. It's going to go around Facebook as well. Drop a vote. Drop your name, who you want to win. We will tally up the votes, and they will be announced on the show before the Super Bowl. Not Super Bowl night, so the same night as the proper NFL honors. I'm going to remove them now. Remove them so we can see our wonderful faces again, or not. Who put Rodgers there?
Most of the MVP voters, by the sounds of it.
No QB. So Kelly's going for Brady and Cup.
I think Brady's going to win it.
MVP is Cup for me.
Much the same, Cup.
Like I said, it'll be on our socials. And it's going to go around Facebook. Please drop us a vote. Your votes will. Your votes will count.
Your votes will. But please do not vote once the voting is closed. As your vote, as you may still be charged, but your vote will not be counted.
I think I'm going to put the first one out tomorrow, which is going to be Coach of the Year. Then it's going to be comeback, rookie, offensive, defensive, and then MVP. I might do that every other couple of days or so. Something like that, anyway. Haven't quite.
I mean, you're...
Apparently so. John's put only one MVP and they're still in the competition, so there's only one winner.
And Mother's saying, in the actual vote, Cup just won. It better be Brady because it better not be Rodgers. We know MVP in the NFL is a Cup, is MVP. It's a quarterback.
Quarterback one. It was a bit shorter than I was expecting it was tonight. I didn't want it being overly long. We will be back on Monday. Technical allowance.
Yes.
And depends how our live Ollie's feeling after one either going to be drowning his sorrows or celebrating all night long.
I'm going to be in a hotel Monday night, so that'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, you are. You've got an interview Tuesday, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this weekend's games. I love
Me
Championship
too.
Football weekend. I kind of wish they had them on a Saturday and Sunday night, though.
Yeah.
I think that would have been
it'll do well if it lives up to the divisional round.
If it gets anywhere near that, it'll be impressive. I can't see it because, troughs and falls and all that crap.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really good games. And then we're going to then it's got to follow by the Pro Bowl.
Yes, John. I'm applying for head coach of the Saints.
I thought he was going to be one of the Manchester American football teams up there. Mr. Hope, it has been a pleasure as always. I wish you all the best of luck on Sunday and Monday, and Sunday and Tuesday. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'll see you for Tuesday.
I'll see you. Well, I'll see you before Sunday, but.
Hey, yeah, most definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining in. And we will see you on Monday night for another show of the Third and Long. Take it easy.
And
stay safe. Stay safe. I was trying to change it then, man. There you go. Stay